started recording and I'm about to hit start streaming. And I think we're about to go on. Yeah, so I've hit start streaming, so I think we're on. Hi everybody, I'm JD. I'm at Geeky Doom on Twitter, and I'm joined with
Caitlin at Days Drawings on Twitter.
And so tonight, we're going to take an original character concept that somebody submitted to us, create a character sheet for it, and some original artwork.
Yeah.
Cait, this is one of your friend submissions, so I'll let you talk a little bit more about the character.
So, this is my friend Hannah's character, Talos. He is a dragon. I know a bit about him, but pretty much he's big, he's sweet, and he's a dragon. And we are going to make him as a Mutants and Masterminds character for her.
Which is going to be a lot of fun, because I have not made a Mutants and Masterminds dragon before. So that's going to be exciting.
Dragons do exist. In Spain.
Yeah, there is a dragon NPC in Spain.
Yeah. So that boy exists, so theoretically this is fine. Why can't there be two dragons?
The mythology is there.
You can't tell us we can't do it.
I'm going to make him power level 10. Does that work?
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's like Freedom League level, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
So I'm going to be doing the art for this character, as we will do every other stream we do.
Alright, Talos is a dragon, so let's boost him with some strength.
He obviously needs toughness.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's boost that stamina for that toughness.
Yeah. Because he has scales everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not everywhere, but, you know. Most of the places that matter.
Would you say Talos is more ranged or more melee?
I'd say melee.
Melee.
I'd say he's a melee boy.
Melee boy. We can do that. Actually, I think I'm going to jump in and give him some complications.
Oh, we're starting with complications.
Yeah. So the software I use has this really cool feature. This is Hero Lab. It's a great piece of software, and it has this feature where it'll pop up with a big red thing in the corner and tell me if I'm defying any of the rules.
We already broken some rules, Jeremy. Is it telling you that?
It starts out that way with default if you don't have any complications selected. So
it's like, hey, average Joe, you're wrong. You've done it wrong.
All right. I think I'm gonna go with quirk. Ooh, I'm gonna start with something silly.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Silly.
Oh yeah. We gotta mix the silly with the serious. I find that tells the best superhero story.
Of course. If it's too serious, you get bored after a while.
Rice to roast marshmallows with fire breath after combat.
It's an old tradition.
Bonus points for using carcass of enemy as tinder.
Oh man. Let's get mildly morally complex here. Is it morally allowed to use people as kindling? Probably.
It's a question for philosophers and not myself.
Not this Mutants and Masterminds stream. No, thank you.
Would you describe this character you think as being more chaotic or lawful?
Oh boy.
Yeah, right?
From what I know about him, I think he's a more chaotic creature. I mean, he's a dragon who doesn't really follow the law necessarily as he is a dragon, and the laws of man, I feel like, mean very little to dragons.
No, that sounds great. So we'll add complication, motivation, thrills.
Yeah, that definitely sounds accurate. Absolutely.
Doing it for the raw thrill with multiple L's.
If I remember correctly, he's also married and has
That's
kids.
fantastic. We can add more complications. Should we add family as a complication? I think so.
Yeah. Remember, he has like a wife and kids. He's a character my friend has had for a very, very long time, like since high school. And I'm in college, so it's been a few years at least. With every drawing, you start, and then afterwards you have to move the head. That's just how life is sometimes. You start from the top, and then you have to redo it because you put the head in the wrong spot for however else the body is going to be posed.
That's how it happened to me.
I don't think they fixed your head, though.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
That's family they want
As
to
your friend, you should know.
protect.
Another thing, she did not include outfit descriptions, which means I get to decide what he's wearing.
Artistic liberty, baby.
Whoop whoop.
Alright, there we go. Red is gone, so let's go back and check out some of these abilities.
He needs bigger feet. His feet aren't big enough.
Oh no?
No, not nearly big enough for this big boy. Okay. Base sketch is done. Now to start adding the sketch for the rest of his features.
I'm boosting presence a little bit because from the description I'm picturing these luscious, gorgeous locks.
Oh,
and I
hell
want
yeah.
to represent that in the numbers.
Absolutely. And that gorgeous beard.
Actually, I'll come back to that. Let's do powers next.
Yeah. So, alternate form, obviously.
Yeah?
Of course, because he can turn into... Well, he is a dragon, but he can turn into a person. So I'm starting with the art for the human form.
Fascinating. Okay. Dragon form. Standard action to transform. I think that'll be fine.
He has claws on his hands, so he can use those to fight as well.
Right on.
And,
I'm imagining fire breath, right?
he has fire elemental powers as well, as also a thing that was included.
Oh yeah, we can do that. Let's see.
The character description we are working off of is displayed on screen if anyone wants to read through it, so they can see what we're working off of.
Let's see here. Flight, right?
And JD cannot see what I'm doing, and he can't see what I'm doing.
It's better that way.
It's better this way if we don't know what we're up to.
How fast do you think a dragon flies?
Well, not to bring D&D into this, but according to D&D, 60 feet per 6 seconds.
I'm not a mathematician.
So that's 10 feet per second.
Okay.
So that's 100 feet per minute. So that's 1,000 feet per an hour.
1,000 feet per hour, that doesn't sound right.
Does it?
No.
No? Well, sorry, the dragon's not as fast as a car.
No, I'm just going to Google it.
You're gonna Google. This is what we've decided to do.
How fast does a dragon
His torso is not thick enough.
Well, that's a dragonfly. Dragonflies fly at 60 miles per hour. That's a fact worth knowing.
So faster than 16 miles per an hour.
I think 120 feet per hour is probably, or 20 miles per hour, I mean, this is probably a good way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 108, that's 1,800 feet per round. That's well more than what we'd see in Dungeons and Dragons. I'm good with that. And then
Well,
another power. We want that claw strike, right?
yeah. Don't forget the magic he's also got.
Well, so besides like fire breath, flying, and claw strike, what does the magic do?
I mean, maybe it's just basic fire, like he can just create fire in his hands.
So summoning fire as well. I'm down for that.
You know, keep it simple, because the dragon is the main part of this.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
And he's only power level 10, so he doesn't need to be, you know... He's no Sugar. It's from Barcelona, right? That's where Sugar is from?
I think so, yeah. Sugar is from Barcelona.
Yeah. I love that there's just a dragon. Like, I guess it makes sense. Given, like, you got a bunch of wild people, you got literal gods. Why couldn't we have a dragon? Just hanging out underneath Barcelona. Sad because his girlfriend died.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna add that.
This dragon's girlfriend is not dead. His wife is alive and well. Last I heard, maybe she's dead, actually. Who knows? It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, hips are difficult.
Tell me about it.
Well, you don't have hips.
You're so mean. Let's see here, actually. So that's that. That's that. I'm gonna give some perception because you got them dragon eyes.
Yes. Very.
Definitely some intimidation.
Absolutely. He is like 7'1".
Right?
Yeah, so he's got to be intimidating. This is a big, muscular dude who's 7 feet tall standing in front of you. Yeah, you're going to be a little shook.
Well, we all know what that's like.
Do you?
No.
I thought. Don't bring lies into this show. To redo his feet as well, because they're not on the same level.
Let's see here. What am I looking for?
What else do you think is on? So he's big. He's got claws.
Mm-hmm.
Got the dragon form. I'll try to draw the dragon form if I have some time as well. Huh. I think that's a good outline for the body. Let's get some clothes on him.
Let's see.
Now, she mentioned had Greek features, so I'm thinking maybe a little Greek-inspired outfit here.
I could see that.
I mean, the Greeks were generally depicted as being hot boys. Were there dragons in Greek mythology?
I actually don't know.
I mean, they had hydras, and I guess some places could call that a dragon.
Actually, I want to go back here. I want to go...
I mean, the Greeks can have like a 3-headed dog that guards hell and people with snakes for hair. But the idea of a very large flying lizard, gods, no. No, that's just... The gods wouldn't let that happen, no thank you. Maybe they just weren't thinking hard enough.
That happens. That's my life.
I'll roast the ancient Greeks. They can't defend themselves, they're all dead.
Let's see, I'm looking at, like, advantages to add to this dragon, and one of them's fighting style Krav Maga. What do you think about that?
No, I want you to not be mad, but what does that mean?
That's a martial arts style.
Okay. What does it mean?
I'll read it to you.
Yeah?
Krav Maga developed about 40 years ago for use by the Israeli Defense Forces. It is a highly practical style, borrowing moves from many different fighting styles and focused entirely on quickly and efficiently disabling an opponent. It lacks the forms of other fighting styles, since it's intended solely for fighting, not for show. This fighting style can be used for other modern constructed styles taught to commandos and military personnel. I am, however, probably going to go with Fearless as an option.
What does Fearless do for him?
You can't be affected by fear effects.
Which should have
fits Dragon, I think, pretty well.
Should have guessed. Obviously, yes. Dragons ain't bitches.
Not usually.
Unlike some mortals.
I feel like you were directing that at me, but I'm going to pretend it wasn't.
I mean, you said it, not me.
Rude.
Wow, okay.
Rude.
Should I give him shoes? Do dragons need shoes?
When they go out jogging, yeah.
What?
It's an important thing for a dragon to keep up on jogging, keep up on fitness. I mean, they sit around their cave all day otherwise, right? So they gotta mix it up.
What is happening with this joke? Where's this joke going? It was going somewhere, and I'm trying to figure out where it was supposed to end, because you just kept going with the whole, yeah, they just jog. I don't know how togas work.
That's a real problem.
That's artist problems. I don't know how this article of clothing looks. Be damned if I'm looking it up, though. That looks about right.
Yeah,
that looks like an
action.
article of clothing.
Definitely gonna give move by action.
I need to quickly look up what a belt looks like. Okay, that's what their skirts look like. I wouldn't say it's a skirt, because that's not the word they use.
I don't know enough about fashion and clothing to even be a part of that conversation.
Well,
I'm just uncultured.
Well, I mean, like, they didn't need pants, because they didn't need pants because they weren't a horse society. And if you know anything about clothing, is that pants were invented because people didn't want to mess their junk up on the horses.
I actually did not know that. That's really fascinating.
I was minoring in the history education here when we make Mutants and Masterminds characters. Let me give you my baseline knowledge of, I know they certainly didn't wear pants.
Thinking about giving him the cool advantage.
I mean, dragons are pretty cool. And, like, this dude has, like, iridescent hair. 7'1" with pointy ears and a cool beard.
Yeah.
And he's just muscular as all hell. Like, yeah, pretty cool.
Well, it's like, I know me, when I was younger, I was obsessed with the concept of dragons.
Yeah.
And cool is written as, you have a certain style and calm method to your actions that works on anyone under 20 years old.
He's hip with the kids.
I know it would have worked with me. If a dragon showed up and was like, hey man, can you do this thing for me? I would have been like, yeah, you're a dragon.
Isn't that one of the the things from, like, the Hero High book? Where it's just like, anyone under the age of 20 thinks you're cool. Everyone else thinks you're just a fucking kid.
And I'm definitely thinking benefit wealth, because I'm picturing this dragon on a giant pile of gold, like the dragon's hoard.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
defo. Alright. Let me see what I got so far.
Let's see, yeah.
So I've opted for no shoes.
Improved initiative.
Because quite frankly, I can't see a reason why this man would wear shoes. However, I am considering the proportions of his legs now in the skirt, and I'm not digging them. So we're changing the legs. We just gotta shrink them a little bit.
What did I give myself for we did give there? We'll increase awareness a little bit too, I think, at this point. And dragons should be intelligent, right? Is this an intelligence dragon? Actually, I should ask that question. Is this character an average dragon intelligence?
I feel like if I say no and I get it wrong, my friend's gonna be very upset at me if I think her character's an idiot. However, I have never gotten the impression that he was like, super smart.
Understood.
He's just a dude who's also a dragon.
We've all been there.
Have we?
Well, I have.
Well, that's just concerning for different reasons. But I am gonna start some line art on this bad boy. After I resize him, oh good grief. Having a ruler on means that everyone watching can see that my canvas is 25 inches long by 25 inches, which is how I work. And if you care, then you're wrong. Just let me live.
What equipment am I going to give the dragon?
Well, he doesn't have pockets in this outfit I've given him, unless he's hidden something somewhere very...
Would it mess up your art a ton if I gave him a diving suit?
Try me, Jeremy. You're within throwing distance.
Was that like a try me, Jeremy? Like, please add this so I can test my artistic ability? Or, Jeremy, if you do this, I'm going to really test my artistic ability.
With how far I can get my pen in your eye.
I figured. What's an ornithopter? Wait, hang on a second. A step beyond the flying harness and its design, an ornithopter is an aircraft that artificially recreates the flight of birds. That's hella cool.
But does he need it?
Oh, he absolutely doesn't. Does he need an aircraft carrier?
No.
Oh.
But...
I can't imagine what equipment a dragon would actually need besides something like a cell phone.
Would he even have a phone?
Well, dragon in human form, right? So I'm picturing like this is this like...
Does Thor show up to Midgard with like a cell phone?
More and more in every movie, Thor's had more Midgardian artifacts with him.
I'm not talking about Marvel. No, get that shit out of here.
Okay, well, hey, that's where my mind went.
We're talking about actual boy in the sky.
Well, I have never been introduced to actual boy, so I can't tell you what he's like.
Jeremy, let me ask you a question.
Yes, please.
Do they have cell phones in Asgard?
I've never been to Asgard.
Use your goddamn imagination here, Jeremy.
No, I think you're fishing for a very particular answer, and I'm just not giving you the satisfaction.
Oh, you may not have seen the description, but Talos has just sharp teeth, which is a fun thing to draw because it makes every drawing just a bit nicer. Pointy teeth are just hot.
Fire shaping. That's what I'm going to give for magic. I'm going to call it fire shaping.
Sure.
It's one of the powers from the Power Profiles Handbook.
Good. Mm-hmm. So what does fire shaping do?
Oh, it's exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to manipulate the shape and area of flame.
Yeah. I'm assuming he can also breathe fire as well.
I did give fire breathing under the dragon form. But by adding the fire shaping as the magic effect outside of dragon form, it means that even in the human form, the fire shaping and fire manipulation can happen.
Cool.
Should fire breath not be just a part of the dragon form, or is that something that should be part of like the human form as well?
I think we could get away with it being in both. You know?
Okay.
That feels like something you could be reasonably argued for.
I don't know, I just feel like being unreasonable. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll add it as a separate power then. Fire breath.
I'm very worried that after like a few minutes, I'm gonna look back at his face and I'm gonna realize the proportions are awful, and I'm gonna have to redo his entire face. There's something I don't want to have to do. I mean, I could. How are things going over there for you, Jeremy?
I think I'm rounding it out here, actually.
Oh boy, I am still doing line art.
No worries. I still have to do the, well, not have to. I'm going to be doing the character backstory a little bit, too.
Oh, that's right. I know only a little bit about the official backstory.
Well, they're going to get my backstory.
She is...
Ooh.
Hannah is gonna get what Jeremy thinks Talos' story is.
Straight from me to you, Hannah.
To fit it into the Mutants and Masterminds canon.
It's from the heart.
It's from the heart. It's filled with love. And you have no choice.
I'm actually going to grab one of the books real quick. BRB.
Oh no, he's leaving. Whatever shall I do? I suppose I'll just have to keep drawing.
Cry.
Shut up, you're not here.
Tears.
Like I'd ever cry on stream.
Painful tears.
You have to do a lot more than just walking away from the camera for me to cry, Jeremy.
Noted.
Have you ever made me cry in a campaign? I've been in a few of your games. I don't think I've ever cried. I've cried thinking about my characters, but I haven't cried during like a session.
I don't go out of my way to try to make somebody cry. Quite the opposite.
You could. You could hurt me.
Well, while I appreciate the invitation, I would not aim to do that.
You could. I've cried thinking about my characters before, though. I've been like at home thinking about them, and I've just started crying because I get really sad about them because I hurt them.
It's like that's the emotional connection that you have with your character, right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how I've like given them an awful backstory, and then I think about how awful it is, and I start crying.
See,
I'm like, they don't deserve this suffering, but I did it. Jeremy doesn't do it. I'm the one who goes, he's gonna ruin the backstory for me, make me sad. I'm just gonna do it ahead of time. Worst case, I get a better parent out of it because Jeremy's like, no, you're good.
Okay.
Because if I try to make, like, decent parents, Jeremy pulls the "they're secretly a demon" card on me, and suddenly I have evil parents whom I need to kill.
It's a common problem.
It's happened twice, which, like, isn't a lot, but, like, it keeps happening. So I've just started giving myself awful parents in my backstories. It's just, I'm already prepared for them to hurt me. I just don't... I'm putting the bullet in Jeremy's gun, not him. So at least I know the bullet's there.
I appreciate that bullet.
It's the parental hurt bullet.
Let's see. Other reputations. We've got complications. We've got 3 complications. Great. Alright.
These arms do not look right.
So, character. Male?
Male, yes.
Do we know the age?
Let me check the description real quick. I don't know. Old. I think he's very old. I think he's like a few hundred years old.
Well, it is dragon, right? So.
Yeah, old.
We'll go 410 years old. A respectable age in the dragon community.
Respectable. Make it 420 just to be fun.
No, I'm not that way.
Lame.
Now, what was the color of the hair?
It's blue, but it looks iridescent, so it looks kind of black. Kind of like chicken feathers.
Ooh. That's actually really baller.
Yeah.
Blue iridescent. Eye color?
Hold on, let me see. Does it say? Checking the description of your send.
Let's check it out.
Green eyes.
Green. Green eyes. Nice.
Was that a reference to something that I'm too young to understand?
Totally.
My age is showing.
No. That was a reference to Acquisitions Incorporated.
God damn it.
Let's see. Personal details. Let's describe this Dragon Boy. This is where I get to come up with a backstory.
My hand does not look right in this angle. God dang it. Hey, Avery. How many people are in the chat? If anyone, or are we just talking to ourselves over here?
No, you have been talking to a couple people.
Nice.
Hi! I didn't think anyone was actually gonna show up. Hi.
Welcome. We're glad you're here.
We're glad you're here listening to us talk nonsense while we do things.
Putting up with our shenanigans.
We're very happy that you're here. This is our first stream. I hope you all are enjoying this because we just get to sit here and talk and make mutants characters. We also do D&D characters if anyone wants a D&D character made. You know.
If you're anybody that wants an AD&D character, 2nd edition is totally my jam.
Yeah. And art has no addition, so I'll always be here. The additions are in source books are all limited as to what Jeremy can do. So,
which is every version of D&D plus Mutants and Masterminds 2nd or 3rd. But I really like 3rd.
We're currently playing a 3rd edition game in our spare time.
Consumed all that life has to offer, like wood unto the flame.
What are you saying over there?
Eldritch incantations that will yield ultimate power. Oh man, we actually have people in the chat. That means that they're not watching that sports ball game.
They're not watching the sports ball. Oh. Man, you chose this over the Super Bowl. Thank you. I'm glad to know we beat the Super Bowl in terms of your entertainment.
It's like I heard there was a really important episode of football on this week.
What a way to phrase it.
Right? Creatures and senses fire Talos has consumed all that life has to offer. Like
I wonder if Hannah's in the chat. Hey, Hannah, are you there? Are you liking what I'm doing with his outfit? Oh, she's not.
Despite vibrant and sharp.
At the very least, this drawing won't take much longer once I get to his legs, because legs are pretty simple to do. The skirt, however, has many lines. And, like, Caitlin's sitting here thinking, I don't think this character was Greek. Like,
No?
she said Greek features. And I'm starting to think, wasn't he, like, a Scandinavian? Wasn't he married to, like... So my friends were fans of, like, Italia. And I think his wife was Norway. My other friend's character. So I don't think he's Greek, but we've committed.
Yeah, you know what? We're committed, right? So you're
You know
born in Greece.
Born in Greece, but moved to Scandinavia. Or wherever.
Talos found.
Well, this is the portion where Jeremy's writing, so I can start, I can finish a drawing.
Born in Greece, Talos found his feet swiftly taking to travel. How do you spell Scandinavia?
God, if I know.
Oh, jeez, to the Google again.
I failed the spelling bee at my elementary school. The first round.
Was Scandinavia in the spelling bee?
No, it was yogurt, and I spelled it as wrong. I spelt yogurt wrong. Hello,
I have no
world.
problem admitting I don't know how to spell this, but thanks to the internet, now I do.
Knowledge is power. Yeah, he definitely wasn't Greek.
I think that was just a reference to what his features were supposed to look like. There aren't dragons in Greece. There never were. But now there is. With the power of my misremembering things. If you aren't specific when you submit your character designs, I get to decide things. And sometimes it means your Scandinavian hot boy dragon becomes Greek.
I also might take your dragon and make them into a pyromancer.
The more details, the better, because that means there's less things we can fuck up with your character.
Though, we're still gonna try.
We're gonna do something. Guaranteed, we'll find some way. If you don't tell us, like, you're gonna think you got everything, and you're gonna realize you didn't tell us what color his eyes were. That's free real estate, baby. Who knows what's going on with those eyes? You apparently don't.
So is Talos actually being used in a Mutants game, Cait?
He might.
He might.
If I run one for my friends, he might be a character.
Oh, you totally should. It's a fun system.
Yeah. I'm enjoying playing it. It's a bit simpler than, it's a bit simpler than, D&D.
I find the potency for Mutants for me is in the storytelling.
We fight so little. I can think of, like, 3 times we fought. 2 times we're against grunts.
Mm-hmm.
Both times someone died. Accidentally. Not really, but I didn't plan anything. Avery didn't plan anything. Someone else did.
Well, the adversity in Mutants doesn't have to be through combat. It can be through a variety of other situations. That's true for D&D, too. It's not limited just there. But for me, as a GM, it's always been much easier to put that through in Mutants and Masterminds than in Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm giving Talos clawed toenails because I can.
That's awesome.
Because he has claws hand, he's getting clawed toes.
Well, dragons have clawed appendages.
Yeah. Also, it's cool. It's just cool.
Right? Sometimes you just gotta do it because it's baller.
Sometimes you won't add something, I'll think, yeah, but it's cooler if he has clawed toenails. It's just cooler. If you specifically don't want your character to have claws for toenails, you have to tell me. Or it might just happen. God, I hate feet. Oh, toes. Toes are wrong. That's not what a foot looks like, but hoorah, baby. How many times do I need to redraw the foot? Thoughts to, like, the people out there and Jeremy. Should I give him a hairy chest?
Oh, absolutely. Because I think it's hilarious that a dragon who dragons historically are covered in scales,
Well,
right?
he's gonna have scales, but I'm like, should I?
But like a scaled being with a hairy chest, I mean.
Well, it's not all scales. This is his human form, and he only has like some scales on his.
All I'm saying is, I just find the image delicious.
As my friend would say, oh nut. Instead of saying cool, she just says nut now. It's a fun thing. When you're at your friend's parents' house. Not her parents. And she just says, oh, nut, out loud. And you're like, we might not get invited back anytime soon. So it says the scales were focused around the vital organs. So I'm going to keep those at, like, side of the ribs kind of thing.
That works.
Just for
later, Apple, later. Now is not the time.
I'll have to get to color eventually. Where else should I add scales? It was around the organs. She did not say that they were at, like, joint points, which is where I like putting scales whenever I draw dragons, because I draw a lot of dragon people. For reasons. I'm thinking, could I get away with putting scales on the shoulders? Mostly densed around his... Oh, mostly densed. Heck yeah, that means I can. That's a loophole, baby. You're really going nuts on that keyboard over there.
Just you wait till I read this to you. It's
oh, good.
Delightful.
I'll put a few more scales. Put some around the neck, because it's always good to have
loving this background music.
It was a good choice, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I have good music taste.
I'm thinking Mario for some reason. Why am I thinking Mario? There was a Mario game that featured the steel drums heavily. Was that Mario 3? I can't remember.
My brain's telling me this looks like Poseidon because of the scale, so he now looks like a fish boy.
Nothing wrong with looking like Poseidon.
Nothing wrong with Poseidon, but this is where I've gone. Vaguely looks of Poseidon. And the blue's not gonna help. Just putting scales around certain points. Gotta protect that Achilles tendon, man. I mean, if we learn anything from Achilles, that's just, you can get fucked up. One arrow and you're down. Like, it goes for, like, the knee, like, you can't be an adventurer anymore. It goes for the ankle, you just fucking die. I think that's how it happened, right? I don't remember... I don't remember how that ended for him. I think he died. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Greek mythology. I had the cursory obsession that all middle schoolers did at some point. Either with Egypt or with Greece. I just thought the Greek gods were cooler. Nothing.
No, I'm with you. Greek gods were definitely cooler than the Roman gods.
Wait, now hold on. Some of those gods are the same person, Jeremy.
I think they have cooler names.
Well, some of them are still the same person, Jeremy. That's what Rome did. They're like, all right, you're part of us now, so we're going to take your gods and we're going to change their name. And look at that. You worship the same pantheon as us now. I mean, that's one way to stop people from rebelling against you. People quite like their gods. If they think their god is your god, I mean, that's one less thing you have to worry about.
That is true. So I have a bit of a backstory here if you want to hear it.
Oh, good. Well, I'm just starting to color, so...
So while you color, let me stroke your ears.
Oh, good.
A dragon of respectable age, Talos is 410 years old. A creature as intense as fire, Talos has consumed all that life has to offer like wood unto flame. Vibrant and sharp, employing a coy and crafty nature, Talos enters each challenge with a fierce intensity both in intellect and in temper. Born in Greece, Talos found his feet swiftly taking to travel. He found solace and love in Scandinavia. The heart of the dragon beat strong, and soon Talos found a love of the arcane studies, and pyromancy flowed like blood through his body. But the nightmares came. They gripped the mind of the dragon like ice, and in an attempt to douse the flames of his soul. Talos sought the greatest and wisest among them to determine the meaning behind the dreams. It was here that he learned of Percival the Tempered. Percival was a knight from over the seas, whose banner was the immortal ice. Percival was the chosen of an immortal spirit, who breathed everlasting life into the knight's body so long as the knight agreed to serve them. The knights so feared death that they readily agreed. But alas, the immortal was not good in nature, and it was revealed all too late to Percival that he had grown to be bound in service to a dark creature. Fate is cruel and weaves a terrible tapestry. So it was decided that Percival and Talos were to be tied in a battle of the immortals that has spanned the last 300 plus years. In the pursuit of Talos, Percival traveled to Freedom City, where the two now actively engage in the combat that they have for a very long time.
Shit. In other news, Hannah's here, but she can't see anything apparently because the stream is just black. She can hear us though. So hi, Hannah.
Oh, strange.
Hannah.
I wonder why that is.
Hannah, I wish you could see this because I have made a hot boy. Fear not, I did not forget the sharp teeth.
I've always loved the phrase "fear not."
Fear not. It's what the angels say when they show up with their many heads and flaming rings that rotate violently.
All will be well.
It's like, chill. We're here to help. Very controversial.
Let's see here. Yeah. Save as PDF, and there we go. Public documents. Actually, just throw them down. It's easy enough.
I don't know. I mean, what else can we talk about?
Alright, let's see how this character sheet looks.
Whoop whoop.
Oh, see, that is a gorgeous thing right there.
You made this character sheet way too fast. Either that or I put way too much effort into this drawing.
No, I love your art. I think that you're probably doing perfectly.
Hopefully.
You don't want to rush perfection.
Don't want to rush perfection.
That's my next Mutants and Masterminds character name, Ross Perfection.
My favorite Mutants Masterminds character name has to be Babylon Jones. I don't know if you made up that name or not.
I did. That's my own creation.
That's an original name
Yep.
because that is such a weird name and I love it so much.
Babylon Jones, the Master Mage of Earth 5.
I thought it was Earth 11.
Oh, well, he's actually the Master Mage of a couple of Earths. I have a few.
Oh, that's cheating. Wait, now hold on.
It's not the same Babylon. In the multiverse theory, there's a couple of different Babylons. Oh man, we're going to delve into a superhero topic that gets super complicated quickly. In the multiverse theory, there's like a bunch of Supermen, right? In the DC Comics world,
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Iron Men in like the Marvel Comics world as an example. There's a bunch of Babylon Joneses in my multiverse.
I was assuming when you said he's the master mage of several Earths, I thought you meant this one dude.
Sorry, yeah, that wasn't clear.
This one dude is managing several Earths. I'm like, wait, now hold on.
That's just a lot of responsibility.
That's a lot of master mage mantles.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. It's too much for one person.
That's. Does he ever sleep at that point?
Hey, Hannah, I'm glad you're here. I gave your character the Greek language. Is that cool?
Hannah, respond in chat.
We sort of made your character Greek. I don't know if you heard the backstory I made, but I think it's delicious. Like, if I could consume it, I would.
Forgot he wasn't Greek, Hannah. You put Greek features in the description, and I thought, oh, Greek, okay. I'll put him in a Greek battle skirt and toga. And then partway through line arting, I realized, hey, now wait a second, he wasn't Greek. But we were too deep down the rabbit hole for me to change what he was wearing, so you're gonna have a Greek boy.
I was just looking at the wealth bonus. A very rich Greek boy.
I mean, if you're gonna be
A dragon, you might as well have the gold, right?
Oh, Hannah can't respond in the chat. The app won't let her. Oh no, so she can hear us, but that was it. Oh, he was born and raised in Greece.
Was he?
Yes, we got it right.
I feel like that moment where like you take a test and you totally guess the answer, but you get it right anyway, and I'm just like, victory.
So the backstory is that he fell in love with a Scandinavian. So
Wow.
he lives up in Scandinavia.
Well, I have that in the backstory, so like that's
We
two,
did it!
That's 2 for 2.
Hannah, I forgot. And I remembered that part correctly. And we completely guessed on the Greek thing. God, we're geniuses.
That I don't know if I'd go that far, but like we made it.
We're geniuses.
We made it. So dragon form with claw strike, fire resistance, fiery breath, and flight, and then in mortal form, fire shaping magic, and a fiery breath attack.
I don't think I'm going to have time to do the dragon form with how fast Jeremy did that character sheet.
Oh no, please take your time. You've got
No,
all the
that's
time
a
in the
whole
world.
other drawing, Jeremy.
I would not want to deprive you of the pleasure, Cait.
Jeremy, that's a whole other drawing.
We were going to go till 8:30. We got plenty of time. I might play with some poetry around the character of Talos. Maybe write some kind of a sonnet between Talos and
Oh, Hannah,
Talos' beloved. Does the beloved have a name, Hannah?
Hey, Hannah, message me. What was his wife's name? Was it Norway? I feel like it was Norway. Because I know you were into Hetalia when this was made.
I don't know what Hetalia is.
Hetalia.
I'm prepared for class.
If you don't know what Hetalia is, God bless your soul. Because, oh my god, that was a show that existed. It was an anime where all the countries were anime characters. So Norway, the country of Norway, was personified as a character. And I think, well, not in the show, but like every country had one. And I think my friends made a character that was based off of Norway as a Hetalia character. And I think that was what this character's wife was, or something similar to that. Oh, she's typing in chat. Hey, she's about to get it. Greenland. It wasn't Norway, it was Greenland.
The name was Greenland. I can work with that. To make
Her
one
name was
adjustment.
Anneke. Anneke. That was the wife's name. They had several kids. If I recall, one of the children's married to an incubus. If I remember the conversation I had with Anneke's creator, because there was like they both belonged to someone.
An
There's an echo
incubus.
on Kate's side.
There's an
An
echo
echo?
on Kate's side?
Oh, that's not good at all.
How bad's the echo?
Ask her.
How bad's the echo?
Hey, how bad's the echo?
There's a little bit of a delay.
Great way for things to work out for
Well,
us.
I'll see what I can do.
We will fix that. Jeremy will fix it, and I'll keep doing this.
I'll
Prominent.
Prominent. Great. I'm glad it took us to me shading the hair for us to find this out. But better late than never. Is that better? Or am I not being able to hear? I'm being told it sounds like I'm underwater.
Underwater?
That's the message I got from Hannah. It sounds like you're underwater. Wow.
All right,
Cool.
let's figure that out. How's that sound?
Is this better, guys? Is that better? So what I'm doing with the hair is because the hair is supposed to be kind of iridescent looking, kind of like chicken feathers as was described. If you've never seen chicken feathers, they have a kind of gleam. So I'm trying to do that because it's supposed to be a blue gleam.
You can hear us now without a echo?
Is the echo gone, guys?
Beloved chat, forgive us. This is our first foray.
Darlings.
Hasn't been happening for long.
Uh-huh.
It's been happening
Way
for
better.
a little, but I think is it better?
Yeah, I just got a message saying it's better, at least on her end.
Okay.
But she's been having weird things where she can't actually see anything we're doing. She
Yeah.
can only hear us.
Hannah has a weird version of Twitch. For the rest of you, is it okay?
But it's only us. That's the thing. It's only us that she can't see. Twitch has decided she doesn't get to see this.
Well, it's because it's your character, Hannah. It's like the curtain's been put over until we're done, and then we get to dramatically reveal.
She'll be getting an email later tonight anyway with the file.
Thanks Skeletons for the information there.
Skeletons.
Thanks,
Thank
Skeletons.
you. That was so nice. Remember, guys, if you want us to do this with your characters, we have a submission. We will pick one each week, and around the same time each week on a Sunday we will do this.
You can submit your character descriptions at
Yes.
geekydoom.com.
Yeah. Remember to include if you want to be D&D or mutants, so we can make the proper character sheet for you, and you will be sent the files afterwards.
Okay.
I like how the hair turned out on this.
Yeah?
I think it turned out very nice. I got the desired effect. An art degree isn't useless.
It's glorious.
You don't even have an art degree. You're an IT guy.
Ah, fun fact. I have 2 bachelor's degrees. One is in IT and the other is in graphic design.
You can't draw, Jeremy.
I have
I've
to-
seen your art.
I don't have to draw to create beautiful things, Cait.
You can't draw, Jeremy. Okay, well, your drawing of Pauldron was okay, but, like,
Uh-huh.
that was it. It was decent. And also, it's very tiny anytime I have to look at it. Probably not going to do any shading on the hair because I like where it's at, so I'll probably just shade everything else besides that.
Yeah, right? Should be back up and running now.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, please.
Can you name your stream?
How do I do that? Oh, I'm still learning.
Literally our first stream, guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully people refreshed the page and didn't leave. I also realized I forgot to color a part of his neck, or is it hair?
I'm looking at this trailer right now and I was like seeing the glorious infinitude behind it.
I'm still coloring. People don't need to see me coloring a toga.
Not normally. It was Greenland, right?
Greenland or Anike. A-N-N-E-K-E? A-N-N-N-E-K-E, yes.
Love it.
His scales are the color of his hair. Yes! Correctly guessed color scheme.
What? I bet I can zoom this in so people can read it. Oh. How's that look on the stream?
It's gotta load because there's a delay. How long it takes me to do drawings, Jeremy will have enough time to futz around and do other random shit. On his end, you all get to sit here and watch me color a skirt. This is peak entertainment right here. You guys chose this over the Super Bowl. I'm so glad. We've only been at this for like an hour too, which is crazy. I don't know if anyone can actually hear like the sound my pen is making as I draw on my tablet, because it's starting to make squeaky sounds as the nib is starting to wear down because I have to replace it soon. So what you working on now, Jeremy?
Poem called The Ballad of Greenland.
Heck yeah!
How define you, love, O Greenland fair? Does it soar above the sky with dragon wings? For the fire of passion through dragon lair would make poet weep and bard sing.
Dang. I'm thinking gold accents on the toga.
Ooh, gold accents.
He's rich. Okay?
Oh, I love it. Gold and green, that's a really awesome color combination.
What do you mean green?
Or with the green hair.
No, his hair's blue.
I thought you said it had like the iridescent green through it.
No, iridescent blue.
Oh. My bad.
Let's do... All the accenting on the toga skirt will be gold as well. And then I'll make it a brown leather. Because that's what that material was, leather.
Mm-hmm, leather.
I'm not sure how long the viewers here have been. So they might have missed me saying about how skirts were worn by civilizations that didn't have horses. Which is a fun little bit of information that I found out from my looking into things, because I randomly find stuff out when looking up references. We need to talk about something, guys. Are there any questions in the chat, or are people just hanging?
Yeah.
They're just hanging? We're all just having a cool time? I don't know. Are the darlings in the chat interested in hearing us talk about, like, say anything in specific, or... Would they be interested in hearing us talk about our campaigns we've played? So I've done 2 Mutants campaigns. One I'm in right now, and one we didn't finish because one of the players dropped out. Hannah says, I'm currently 2 of your 5 viewers. Oh, goody. Hannah, just close out of one of the tabs. Don't give us this false sense of confidence. There's a whole extra person here.
Don't let her fool you, Hannah. We love the fact that both of you are here.
Shut up. I don't know. I feel like we should talk about something, or else people are just sitting there watching this and listening to these funky tunes we're playing.
Oh.
Getting a message, and I think it's going to be a long one because she's been typing for a few seconds. What's up, Hannah? Gosh, she's taking a while. Well, now I'm concerned. Messages that take like 6 seconds plus to write are normally never good. She says, I'm listening on one device and watching a 0.5 second clips lagging on my laptop because my dad factory reset the Wi-Fi. She's putting in so much effort to watch this.
And we love you for it.
This is great.
The singers belt out angelic chords as our lovers dance under velvet sky. She more valuable than the dragon's hoard. Their love could make the heavens cry.
Hannah, what do you think of the poems? Are they good, guys? Jeremy loves writing poems for us. He used to write poems and cryptic messages for us all the time in our games that haunt us. Because you'll just drop them in the middle of the week and we have to wait till like the weekend to hear about what the hell's going on with this nonsense. You had a habit of doing that and you still do.
I wrote a limerick for Hannah. Do you want to hear it?
Absolutely.
Hannah, we love that you are a viewer true and have stuck through factory reset Wi-Fi. Though you be in total viewership too, we love you for it, and that's no lie.
So Hannah is somebody says, Hannah, I don't want to break this to you, but Jeremy is not in fact single. He is engaged, and his fiancée is right over here moderating the chat. You can't see her, but she is on the couch. And he is 30, Hannah. 10 years older than us.
Why did you give away my age?
Because she deserves to know how old
Now
you
I have
are.
to change my identity and leave the country.
Hannah, he old. Also, she says the poem was gorgeous. The last one about
Thank you.
the romance.
Alas, unto the scoundrel cold, he the warrior of immortal ice. Their feud would age as the ancients old, unto mortals as lions to mice.
Such a fun message. She's like, gorgeous. Is Jeremy single? Like,
Well, I am flattered, thank you.
do you see him?
Wow, rude.
I'm not being... No, I'm just saying, like, Hannah, it's obvious that he's quite a bit older than us.
I thought we still had this
it's
young
that
thing
Jeremy. What do you mean it's that Jeremy? How
Well,
many
what do
Jeremys...
you mean it's that Jeremy? What have you been telling people?
No, Hannah, how many Jeremys do you think I know? I know one. I know one Jeremy. What do you mean it's that Jeremy? In all caps, oh, it's that Jeremy. Hannah.
Is it, wait a minute, I need a clarification. Is it, it's that Jeremy, or is it, it's that Jeremy?
It's all in caps, so there's no, special,
Oh, no,
importance on these letters.
I'm asking Hannah for clarification.
Hannah, we need clarification about this.
In blind doom.
Hannah, don't ignore me. Hannah, I know you're watching this stream on at least 2 devices, please. Hannah. I feel like I'm getting left on red because I know dang well she's listening. And maybe watching. I don't know if she can see this still. Last she told me, she's just looking at a black screen listening to my wonderful voice. And Jeremy's, I guess.
Thank you.
Hannah's in chat.
She's here! Hannah, say hi to Avery. She's watching the chat. This is who you have to compete with for Jeremy's heart. She's currently winning because they own 2 cats together.
And they're okay cats.
They're okay.
They do their best.
How dare you? Zia heard you.
Oh, Zia. I'll be right back.
She doesn't appreciate her dad calling her okay.
What she should appreciate is her dad being honest.
I don't want honesty.
Oh, sweetie.
God, I'm still coloring things in. I haven't even gotten to shading.
Oh.
For future times, it'll probably take us like an hour and a half, depending on how complex the person's character is, for the sketch, line art, and coloring.
When all's said and done, I'm actually going to turn all of these pictures into tokens you can use on Roll20 or print out or all kinds of things. That's
Yeah.
hard. Yeah. You're the best.
Hannah says you're an amazing writer.
Oh, thank you, Hannah.
Hannah's also a writer herself. She's going to college for that, I think? Hannah, I'm sorry if I got that wrong.
That's high praise indeed, then. Thank you, Hannah.
She's been writing since she was writing a book when we were in high school. I don't know how that's coming
That's
along.
awesome. Kick ass.
My sweet, sweet Hannah.
Oh, she's purring. She never does this.
Oh, can everyone see the cat? Is the cat seeable? People love cats. Hey, internet, we have a cat. Come look at it.
She's gonna book it. She's gonna book it. And she's gone.
She's still writing her book.
She's still writing it? How many chapters are left? I want to read it already.
She says she's 200 pages.
Shit, that's a lot. Maybe? I don't know. It sounds like a lot. 200's a big number. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just like a lot in terms of like, I don't know, like Snickers. But not a lot of pages in relative to like pages written.
She says she's finished the book and she's editing it.
I can't wait. Yeah. Yeah, Jeremy does a lot of writing. He writes a lot of our campaigns from nothing.
From my brain, which I guess is nothing.
Well, like, there's no, like, source book they're based off of. Like, you have an entire world called Materios, which we have a website for.
Yep.
You should go check it out, guys.
Materials.com.
Which is still having stuff added because it is a work in progress world that is being worked on as we play through it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in it, including most of the gods, because we do have a few from the canon, like Bahamut, are...
Oh, I love me my dragon god.
We love a good dragon boy, you know? Yeah. By the way, 2 of those gods, my characters have given birth to. One while I wasn't playing her, and another that was described to me in an awful scene that we were playing through when Jeremy was DMing.
I don't think that bears describing here.
It doesn't need to be said.
Let it be known it was horrific.
I'll give you 2 simple facts. My character was a gnome. My daughter is a human. But she was born fully grown. And we will leave it at that. And you can use your imagination to fill in what Jeremy described to me one fateful afternoon when I thought, this is we're having the beach episode. This is fun. This is fine. Oh no, I'm in labor. Hey, I'm going to ask Hannah a question. Does she want the scales to be the darker blue of the hair or the lighter blue of the hair? I need to know what I'm going to color with.
Both? Question mark.
Okay, I can make the scales.
Exclamation point.
I can make them iridescent, Hannah. I'm a good enough artist for that. Ah, thirsty. Okay.
Alright, got the ending stanza.
Oh, good.
Entwined in combat, ice and fire, while love was writ as a fine, fine script. Their hearts beat on, they'd not soon tire. A romance that would live beyond Percival's crypt. Because I wrote this scoundrel into your backstory named Percival because, well, you weren't here to stop me.
You weren't here to stop us, so we did whatever.
Oh, I love it.
That's how life is sometimes. Sometimes
I agree.
you're not here to stop us, so we write a spicy boy into your backstory to fuck with you. And you know it's your own fault for not stopping us. Creative license, baby.
Good to know that you're like this with your friends and not just me.
Jeremy, they put up with so much more shit.
That's fantastic. Also, I'm sorry, Anna. Alright, well, I haven't seen the artwork yet, so I'm going to step over there and take a peek.
Oh, you're gonna peek, huh?
Yeah, I'm
Is
gonna
what this is, huh? You're gonna peek at my art?
I've been reading you all of my writing.
Let me zoom out for a bit because people can see what I'm working on.
Oh, I love it.
The hair is very nice.
Oh, cool. Okay. From chat from Hannah.
Yeah.
A huge part of his character has to do with fire and ice because he stole his wife from a man named Ice.
Percival! He stole her from Percival! We've connected the dots! Unbeknownst to us,
I had no idea.
we connected the dots!
I had no idea.
Ice's real name is Percival!
That's fantastic.
We've done it! Hannah! That's such a fun thing that we accidentally did that.
Have you talked about what Hero Lab is it?
I talked a little bit at the beginning about what Hero Lab is.
Maybe if we talk about them, they'll sponsor us.
Well,
That's the dream.
I'm not fishing for sponsors, but what I will say
If you want to sponsor us,
is that
we're open.
Hero Lab is a tool for creating characters, not just for Mutants and Masterminds, but for all kinds of settings. How do I go back to the main? I'm just going to relaunch Hero Lab. I think it'll be the easiest way to do that. I've been using it for Mutants and Masterminds for ages, but it's by Lone Wolf Development. And they have all these wonderful systems here that you could purchase licenses for to create characters there within. So many of these systems are interesting to you. It's a really cool system for that. When it just references 4th edition and D&D 5th edition, or D&D 5th edition, those are both Dungeons and Dragons. Other than that, the systems are as they're labeled.
Yeah?
Hannah says that she's proud of you guys.
Oh, thanks, Hannah.
It means so much.
You know, Hannah, I'm proud of you too. You stick with that book. I'm glad it's an editorial now. It's going to change the world.
One day it will. I'm gonna try something with the scales just to see how this works.
I loved what you were just doing with the scales on the side. Like the fact that there's a patch of them on the side. That's really cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna see how smudging the base color looks. Just to like mess with it a little, you know?
Smudging the base color sounds like a move that skaters might do.
Like, it's like to blend it in more with the skin to show it's more like part of it instead of just, you know, being some solid cell color on top.
Hey, right on.
Oh, she's texting me. What's up, Hannah?
What doth the Hannah say?
What? This reminded me of that dumb Fox song from the 2000s.
Oh my god, I had forgotten all about that song until literally
like
this moment.
Kind of, yeah. I don't want to make you redo it though. Hannah, I gave him claws for toes. Hannah, that's the best you're gonna get.
Oh man, it's better than toes for claws. Could you imagine somebody that's supposed to have like retractable claws and like toes come out of your hands?
That's awful, thanks. She says, okay, cool. Hannah, how was I supposed to know? I didn't want to make him too dragony in this form, you know?
Oh, dragony, that's my new favorite adjective.
We just finished a whole campaign centered around dragons they wrapped up on Saturday that I ran.
Tell them how we did it, Cait.
So their final boss was Umbernox, son of Tiamat and dragon god of magic, who is looking to restore his mother to material planes so that she can, you know, fuck shit up, as one might put it. They, along with his sister, whom they let out, they let another child of Tiamat out because they're like, well, we can't fuck it up more than we already can. Like, what's the harm in letting out another one? So they get her. And they're like, all right, we're back in our home city where Umbernox lives. What's our plan? And they're like, we're going to make him brunch. So with his sister, his adopted son, who is also another NPC that they picked up, made brunch. They walked down to his house. Because he's a public figure in the city because he's been living in, like, secret. And they're like, hey, we're going to have brunch with you, and we're going to chat. Which threw this dude off. I was barely expecting this, and when they went into that meeting, because I was thinking, oh, they're probably just going to fight him, because, you know, he's an evil god. Well, he's not evil, but, like, you know. They have brunch with him, and they convince him that love is the answer. That, hey, you can still get back with your girlfriend, a goddess of magic. You don't have to help your mother, who's kind of a dick. The sister helps, because the sister's kind of... all the gods who didn't sign some god treaty in this game got locked in bad baby jail. Which is what I've been calling it, but that's not actually what it's called anyway. But, like, they got locked away for a long time, so... She just got out of God Baby jail, and she wasn't a big fan that she got stuck there because she decided to help Mama. So she's like, bro, fuck Mom. Just go fuck your girlfriend. Maybe you'll feel better.
That's a statement.
So he did, because they all rolled really good on their persuasion checks, and they brought his sister along. They put out all the stops into convincing him to not do this instead of just killing him.
So for me, it was a little less crass than that. It was more, hey man, like, you might be really angry and villainous, but you lost love, and maybe the power of love can overcome the darkness in your heart.
It literally did. Because you guys went full in on this, like,
That's the power of love.
You could have fucked his sister over. Maybe you could have fucked her. I don't know. I mean, I told you she was a fuckable NPC as well when you asked if I can date any of the gods in this game. And I'm like, well, Vixtarne, the dragon goddess of trickery and beauty, is fuckable.
See, I rather have the way that it happened. I think it was elegant, it was poetic, it was beautiful, and I'm at peace with it.
You wanted to marry Mistra. Well, you want to date her.
She's a glorious goddess of magic, but you know what?
Umbernox would agree with you because he's currently dating her.
She's spoken for. And Pauldron respects that.
Like, realistically, you didn't have a shot when you decided to let Umbranox live. You did not have a shot,
And that's fine. Honestly, if there's love there, that should be celebrated.
yeah. So you're making the city better with your absolute immense funds, which at the end of the game I decided money doesn't matter because this is the finale.
You poor fool.
You
Wait till I reprise.
If I let you. We're doing shading now as well, which is good. But yeah, so they finished up that campaign, which went very well. And I've just realized that Hannah's listening to this, which means I can't ever let you let her play this campaign because now she knows.
You know entirely too much, Hannah.
She knows
You must be dealt
just enough that it could make it difficult because of some things, and I'm not going to explain much more in case I ever do decide to let her and some other people that I know play through it. Because you guys figured out like my big twist pretty quickly, which was nice. It also came out kind of accidentally. Well, part of it came out accidentally because I accidentally let it slip while I was interacting with you as an NPC, which was very organic for it to come out, but it was also mildly frustrating because it wasn't supposed to come out till a lot later. Which is fun, you know?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys had a nice ending to your campaign.
Like I said, I loved it. It was very, very poetic.
Yeah, the power of love saved us. In a campaign that started off with archaeologists. And now Hannah absolutely knows which campaign I'm talking about. Because I've already kind of helped her make a character for it. Hannah, please don't take anything I say here and use it against me.
Hannah, if you want secrets later about what happens in her campaign, send me an email.
Hannah,
I will tell you everything.
Hannah, you don't know his email. Also, don't listen to his lies.
Oh, sorry. Everybody, I can be reached at jd@jdthedm.com. That's real. That's true.
You son of a bitch.
I have a message for you from Hannah.
Yeah.
Remember that time I befriended a lizard you wanted me to kill?
Fluffy!
There's a story there.
The giant lizard Fluffy. It was their first ever combat and their first ever game of D&D and the first ever campaign I ever ran. It was a campaign I made. It was called the Shimmering Isle, and it was my first time DMing. I made like a little campaign, and so what happened was they were on a boat and a storm came and crashed their boat and they woke up on a beach. After hanging out on the beach for a bit, a giant lizard shows up, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna fight it. Oh no, they're not fighting this giant rabid lizard. They knock it out. They heal it back up to consciousness, and then they feed it. And on some successful animal handling rolls, they have befriended this lizard, and it is now their pet, and they took that thing to the final battle against a necromancer on that island.
That's awesome.
Fluffy had more hit points than the entire party because I leveled him up as like a warrior sidekick, and he just rolled really well on his hit points.
That's pretty cool.
So, Fluffy, you icon. What a way for my first combat to go absolutely in the direction I never would have guessed it would have gone. And that's when I learned, you can't plan for shit. At some point in our Runes and Recovery game, I stopped planning for anything because, God, if I know what they're planning.
I think it's important for a dungeon master to be able to have some kind of structure to a campaign session, but
like,
also be able to have the capacity, and you did this amazingly well, have the capacity to react to the unexpected, to be able to improvise.
Like brunch with God. As one way to put it. Brunch with God sometimes happens, and you have to let it happen because this is a great way for this campaign to end. rest in peace, sweet Kulu, because that was an NPC they had as well. They got pushed into a pit of lava and died. You had that NPC for a while as well, Hannah. She was your cleric because none of you guys could heal. I mean, you were a paladin, but you weren't doing shit for healing.
That's fair.
So I'm like, well, your party's lacking in healing. You had a bard, a rogue, and a paladin. And you didn't have a good healer, so I'm like, all right, I'll give you an NPC along with a quest to get the NPC, so I wasn't just handing them to you. So you rescue this little Kenku cleric named Kulu. And they brought her along. And then they found out that Kulu had a wife who was a druid. And so they decided, we also want the wife to come with us. So they had a druid and a cleric. However, sweet Tiga, the druid, was the shittiest fucking roller I've ever had the displeasure of being, because she had hit nothing that entire campaign for all the time that they had her. The only good thing she ever did was stop Arsenios, which was Hannah's paladin, from getting caught by a bunch of undead in a town infested with undead, because Tiga was a changeling. So she changed herself to look like a undead, which I don't know if that's in the rules, but this was my first campaign. I thought she could look like an undead because it's a humanoid.
Of course, you're the DM. That's your right.
I decided that was something she could do. So she covered Arsenios. Arsenios rolled so many shitty stealth checks to stumble through this town full of undead because you guys thought, yeah, this is a good idea. You also dumped that skeleton you had in your bag of holding just into the river. You thought you had plans for him, and now he's in the ocean. You also threw a rock through a building's window and alert everyone in the town you were there. You fuckers.
That happens.
And then they also scaled a volcano that I never thought they would ever consider scaling. And then they shield surfed down the volcano.
One of the best things that Dungeon Master can do is exactly what you described, though, right? So, like, what's funny as all these things are, you learn from every one of the games that you run a little bit more about how to handle certain situations, and that experience stacks up over time.
I have no notes on how any encounter will ever go. That is what I do when I prepare for D&D. I have no notes on the encounters and how I expect them to go, because whatever I expect is wrong, and they will do whatever they want. So why bother wasting my time? I'm just going to prepare specific things like characters and about that character, items that can be found in those areas, things that could be set off that could warrant further investigation from the party. Mm-hmm. But nothing as in what I think the party is going to do in these scenarios, because they are not part of those equations, because I will always guess wrong. Because I have been wrong so many times that I stopped wasting my time trying to guess. Which is fine. I'm not saying this against my players. It's just that I realized I was wasting my time on this. And that was a good lesson, because then I could focus on making character sheets for gods that you guys were just going to have brunch with instead of fight. But you know, it's fine.
I'm working on making a character sheet for Percival.
Hannah just messaged me saying, you should talk about how Joan's character turned on us. So, this friend of mine, they joined us partway through this campaign. Their name was Joan, and they played a Scourge Asmar Divine Sorcerer. That was what they were playing. And they were, they met on the island, and they did some quests, and they went along to the final fight. And I think it was like the first or second round of combat against the necromancer they were fighting. Mm-hmm. That Joan turned to me, because we were all sitting in the living room and we were using the TV screen as like the battle map. And I had like my computer where I was moving the tokens around. Mm-hmm. That's what our setup was. And Joan's just like, I want to cast Thaumaturgy. I'm like, why? And they're like, it's just I can make whisper sounds. So I want to make it whisper something to the evil guy. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to roll, because that's a very specific thing you want to do. So they rolled, and they rolled well. So I'm like, okay, what do you want to say? And they're like, oh, we're gonna have dinner. So like, okay. And Joan's just like, I'll write it on a piece of paper and hand it to you. So as we were eating dinner, Joan slides a piece of paper across the table to me. No one else in the party knows what's going on. They know that Joan is doing something, but they were barely paying attention, so they're barely registering that something is about to happen. The piece of paper says, I want to tell the necromancer I want to join him and turn against my allies. And I'm like, are you sure? And Joan's like, yeah. So we get back there. I'm like, you have to roll a persuasion check because you are asking for something. So Joan's like, okay. They roll not great. So here's the next thing that happens with this. So Joan's like, all right, I can up the ante. I can prove to the necromancer that I am on his side. So Joan, the next round, runs up to the cleric Kulu, who is standing next to a pit of lava, and just shoves Kulu into the pit of lava, killing her instantly. Because she has like 50 hit points, she takes like 100 fire damage.
That's amazing.
Melting her instantly. And the necromancer's like, God damn! Alright, sure! So, I was using some lair actions from the Lich, which one of the things is if someone dies, there's a chance for their ghost to come back and attack someone near them.
Yep.
You know who was very close to where Kulu died? Her wife. So her wife, Tiga, who's been rolling awful this entire campaign, has just watched her wife get murdered, misses on her attack to hit the guy who did it, and then her wife's ghost comes back and kills her. So the NPCs are dead. And the rest of the fight goes not great for the party, except for the sorcerer, who's doing pretty good. Mm-hmm. They eventually knock out our gnome bard, and then proceeds to, as their action, take all of her magic items that she has on her, which included a kazoo that summoned a fleet of rats, which is another thing to talk about in this campaign. But I was using a random magic item roller, and it kept rolling items that gave them the ability to summon creatures. So that was something that was just happening. Eventually, someone leaves and grabs the high-level spellcaster they brought along with them on this mission, who is holding back the hordes of undead. And they're like, you need to come help us. So she walks into the room, and the necromancer goes, I'm about to die. So the necromancer grabs the sorcerer and just fucking pieces it, because he knows teleport.
Fantastic.
Hannah's messaging me again.
I made Percival.
You made Percival.
So we have the villain as well.
You have Percival. I think I'm pretty done with Talos.
We wanted to aim to go till around 8:30, and it's 8:30 now, so I think we're going to start winding it down then.
Gonna give it a little bit of a crop so we can get a better close-up of him.
So we've got Percival, we've got Talos. This is the Talos sheet.
I forgot the bees. I forgot the bees in that campaign. Something that Joan's character entered the campaign with, because he entered in like partway through. I gave him a free magic item of his choosing from a list I had. And Joan's like, I want the jar of bees. Arsenios, Hannah's character, is afraid of bees, but they decided, we're going to give that to Arsenios. Arsenios is Talos' dad, but I never told you that. You fucker, this is the second time she's done this to me. Anyway, back to the bees. So yeah, this jar of bees, when you open it, it creates a gradually increasing radius of bees that swarm around you. If you are at the center holding the jar, you are not affected by the bees, but the bees will continue to swarm out and attack anything that is within their radius.
It's a cool item.
Arsenios is terrified of bees, so what happens is Arsenios is holding the jar and just screaming his head off as bees swarm around him, which is how they entered into the boss fight as well, along with our bard summoning a swarm of pigeons and several swarms of rats.
Very cool.
And what I mean by earlier is, so Hannah sent me saying that Arsenios is Talos' dad, that I never told you. The first time she pulled this shit on me was when she said, in my secret backstory, Arsenios has a wife.
Secret backstory. No bueno.
My sweet Hannah. That's not how backstories work. I need to know about them.
DM's gotta know.
Also, Hannah, you tried to fuck 2 elves on site. You something, you're like, I want to date that elf. Unfaithful, Hannah. Oh, you're typing. What's up, Hannah? Are you upset that I'm roasting you? Arsenios is a whore. That's it. That's all the message says. You're not wrong. And I let you fuck one of the elves. Who is also part dragon. That character was the granddaughter of the dragon who ran the island. Anyway. Time, yep.
Alright, so I think that's going to do it for our first stream.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining us. This was a lot of fun. And if you have any other character concepts, things that you want to see, remember the website's geekydoom.com. Just hop up on, let us know what you think and what you want to see in the future.
Yeah.
We'll
You can
catch
follow
guys,
us on Twitter as well.
Yep. I'm at Geeky Doom.
And I'm at Days Drawings.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.